Namo Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribrajacharya Ashtattar Chhata Sri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, I hope all you are doing well. Today we will be reading from text 51, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. If you have not listened to our previous classes, please check out from our playlist. So before we start, we will pray first. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So let's begin. Text 51. हिरण्यगर्भेर आत्मा गर्भदशाई विष्णु वेष्टिजीव अंतर्यामी क्षीरदशाई. हिरण्यगर्भेर आत्मा गर्भदशाई वेष्टिजीव अंतर्यामी क्षीरदशाई. Garbhodashai Vishnu is a super soul of the aggregate of living being. The Kshirodashai Vishnu is a super soul of each individual living being. Garbhodashai Vishnu is a super soul of aggregate of living being, and Kshirodashai Vishnu is the super soul of each individual living being. Text 52. এসবার দর্শনেতে আছে মায়া গন্ধ তুরীর কৃষ্ণের নাহি মায়ার সম্বন্ধ. এ সবার দর্শনেতে আছে মায়াগন্ধ তুরীর কৃষ্ণের নাহি মায়ার সম্বন্ধ. A means this sabar of the assembly. Darshane in the seeing ache there is maya gandha connection with maya. Turiya the fourth Krishna of Lord Krishna nahi there is not maya of the material energy sambandha connection. Translation. Specifically, we see that these Purusha have a relationship with Maya, but above them, in the fourth dimension is Lord Krishna, who has no connection with the material energy. The three Purusha, Karnadashai Vishnu, Garbhodashai Vishnu, and Kshidashai Vishnu, all have a relationship with the material energy called Maya, because through the Maya they create the material cosmos. These three Purusha who lie on the Karana, Garbha, Khira ocean respectively are the super soul of everything that be. Karanadashai Vishnu is a super soul of collective universe. Garbhodashai Vishnu is a super soul of collective living being. Collective living being. And Khirodashai Vishnu is a super soul of all individual living being. Because all of them are somehow attracted to the affair of material energy. They can be said to have some affection for Maya, but the transcendental position of Sri Krishna himself is not even slightly tinged by Maya. His transcendental state is called Turiya or the fourth dimensional stage. Text 53. विरार हिरण्यगर्भस्य कारणं चेत्तुपधाय ईशस्व जत्रिभिर्निर्णं तुरीयं तत् प्रचक्षते. Virat, the Virat manifestation, Hiranyagarbha, the Hiranyagarbha manifestation, Cha and Karanam, the Karana manifestation, Cha and Iti, thus Upadhayati, particular designation, Ishi of the Lord, Yat, that which, Trivia, these three, Hinam, without, Turiyam, the fourth, Tat, that, Prakashate is considered. Translation. In the material world, the Lord is designated as a Virata, Hiranyagarbha and Karana. Hiranyagarbha and Karana. But beyond these three designation, the Lord is ultimately in the fourth dimension. The Lord is ultimately in the fourth dimension. Virata, the phenomenal manifestation of the Supreme Whole. Virata, the phenomenal manifestation of the Supreme Whole. Hiranyagarbha, the numerous soul of everything. And the karana, the cause, and the cause, the karana, the cause or the casual nature, are all but the designation of Purusha, who are responsible for material creation. The transcendental position of the surplus this designation and is therefore called the position of the fourth dimension. This is the quotation from the Sridhara Swami commentary in the 11th canto on the 11th canto, 15th chapter, verse 16 of Srimad Bhagavatam. টেক্সট 54 যদ্যপি তিনের মায়া লইয়া ব্যবহার তথাপি তৎস্পর্শ নাহি সবে মায়া পার যদ্যপি তিনের মায়া লইয়া ব্যবহার তথাপি তৎস্পর্শ নাহি সবে মায়া পার यद्यपि although tiner of these three maya the material energy laya taking ব্যবহার the dealings তথাপি still tat of that Sparsha, the touch, nahi, there is not. Sabe, all of them. Maya par, beyond the material energy. Although, although these three features of the Lord deal directly with the material energy, none of them are touched by it. None of them are touched by, they are beyond illusion. Although these three feature of Lord directly with the material energy, none of them are touched by it. They are all beyond illusion. Text 55. एतद्दिशनमीशस्व प्रकृतिस्थमपि तद्गुणै न युज्यते सदात्मस्थैर्यथा बुद्धिस्तदाश्रया. Etat, this, Ishanam, opulence, Ishasha of the Supreme Lord, Prakristha, situated in the material nature, Api, although, Tat, of Maya, Gunya, by the quality, Na, not, Yuji, Ujjate, is affected, Sada, always, Atmasthita, which are situated in own energy, Yatha, as also, Buddhi, the intelligent, Tat, of him, Asraya, which has taken shelter. There is opulence of Lord, although situated in the material nature, he is never affected by the mode of nature. Similarly, those those who have surrendered to him and fix their intelligence upon him are not influenced by the mode of nature. This is the opulence of Lord, although situated in the material nature, he is never affected by the mode of nature. Similarly, those who have surrendered to him and fix his intelligence upon him are not influenced by the mode of nature. This text is from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.11.38. Those who have taken shelter of the lotus feet of personality Godhead do not identify with the material world, even while living in it. Pure devotee may deal with the three mode of material nature, But because of their transcendental intelligence in Krishna consciousness, they are not influenced by the material quality. The spell, the spell of material activity does not attract such devotee. Therefore, the Supreme Lord and his devotee acting under him are always free from material contamination. টেক্সট 56 সেই তিনজনের তুমি পরম আশ্রয় তুমি মূল নারায়ণ ইথে কি সংশয় সেই তিনজনের তুমি পরম আশ্রয় তুমি মূল নারায়ণ ইথে কি সংশয় সেই দিস তিনা থ্রি জনের অফ দ্য প্ল্যানারি পোর্শন তুমি ইউ পরম আল্টিমেট আশ্রয় শেল্টার Tumi, you, Mula, Primable, Narayana, Narayana, Ite, in this key word, samshaya, doubt. You are ultimate shelter of these three planary portion. Thus, there is not the slightest doubt that you are the primable Narayana. You are ultimate shelter of this three planary portion. Thus, there is not the slightest doubt that you are the primable Narayana. Brahma has confirmed that Lord Krishna is a supreme, the source of three manifestations known as the Kshirodashai Vishnu, Garbhodashai Vishnu, and Karanodashai Vishnu. Brahma has confirmed that Lord Krishna is the supreme, the source of three manifestations known as Kshirodashai, Kshirodashai Vishnu, Garbhodashai Vishnu, and Karanodashai Vishnu. For his pastime, Lord Krishna has a four original manifestation. For his pastime, Lord Krishna has four original manifestations, namely Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Anuruddha. First Purusha, avatar of Mahavishnu in the casual ocean, who is the creator aggregate of the material energy, is expansion of Sankarshana. Second Purusha, Garbhodasai Vishnu, is a Pradyumna. And third Purusha, Hiranandasai Vishnu, is a expansion of Aniruddha. All these are within the category of the manifestation of Narayana, who is the manifestation of Sri Krishna. Namely Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Anirudh. First Purusha Avatara, Mahavishnu in the casual ocean, who is the creator of aggregated material energy expansion of Mahavishnu, is a Sankarshan. Second Purusha, Garbhodashaya Vishnu, is the expansion of Pradyumna. And third Purusha, Khirdashaya Vishnu, is the expansion of Aniruddha. All these are within the inner হে কৃষ্ণ সেই তিনের অংশী পরব্যাম নারায়ণ তেহ তোমার বিলাস তুমি মূল নারায়ণ সেই তিনের অংশী পরব্যাম নারায়ণ তেহ তোমার বিলাস তুমি মূল নারায়ণ সেই these তিনের of these three অংশী source param vyama of the spiritual sky narayana lord Narayana, Teha, he, Tomara, your, Bilasa, the past times, expansion, Tumi, you, Mula, original, Narayana, Narayan. The source of this three feature of Narayana in the spiritual sky, the source of this three feature is the Narayana in the spiritual sky. He is your Vilasa expansion. Therefore, you are the ultimate Narayan. Text 58. অতএব ব্রহ্মবাক্যে অতএব ব্রহ্মবাক্যে পরব্যাম নারায়ণ তেহ কৃষ্ণের বিলাস এই তত্ত্ব বিবরণ অতএব ব্রহ্মবাক্যে পরব্যাম নারায়ণ তেহ কৃষ্ণের বিলাস এই তত্ত্ব বিবরণ অতএব therefore Brahma of the Lord Brahma Vakya in the speech Paravyam in the spiritual sky Narayana Lord Narayana Teha he Krishna of Lord Krishna Vilasa pastimes incarnation এই this tattva of this of the truth Vivarana description. Therefore, according to the authority of Brahma, Narayana, who is the predominating deity in the transcendental world, is but a Vilasa feature of Krishna. Vilasa feature of Krishna. This have now been conclusively proved. 59 এই শ্লোকে এই শ্লোক তত্ত্ব লক্ষণ ভাগবত সার পরিভাষা রূপে ইহার সর্বত্রাধিকার এই শ্লোক তত্ত্ব লক্ষণ ভাগবত সার পরিভাষা রূপে ইহার সর্বত্রাধিকার এই this sloka verse tattva this truth lakshana indicating bhagavata of Srimad Bhagavatam shara essence Paribhasha of synonym Rupe in the form Ihara of the Srimad Bhagavatam Sarvatra everywhere Adhikara jurisdiction. The truth indicated in this verse, text 30, is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. This conclusion through the synonyms applied everywhere. The truth indicated in this verse 30 is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. This conclusion through synonyms applied everywhere. ব্রহ্ম আত্মা ভগবান কৃষ্ণের বিহার ব্রহ্ম আত্মা ভগবান কৃষ্ণের বিহার এ অর্থ না জানি মূর্খ অর্থ করে তার এ অর্থ না জানি মূর্খ অর্থ করে আর ব্রহ্ম আত্মা ভগবান কৃষ্ণের বিহার এ অর্থ না জানি মূর্খ অর্থ করে আর ব্রহ্ম ইম্পার্সোনাল ব্রহ্মন আত্মা সুপার সোল ভগবান the personality of Godhead, Krishnera of Lord Krishna, Bihara manifestation, A this, Artha meaning, no not, Jani knowing, Murkha the fool, Artha meaning, Kare make, Ara other. Not knowing the Brahman Paramatma Bhagavan, Brahma Paramatma Bhagavan are the feature of Krishna. Foolish scholars speculate in various ways. Not knowing that Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan are all feature of Krishna, foolish scholars speculate in various ways. अवतारी नारायण कृष्ण अवतार तेह चतुर्भुज यह मनुष्य आकार अवतारी नारायण कृष्ण अवतार तेह चतुर्भुज यह मनुष्य आकार अवतारी द सोर्स ऑफ इनकारनेशन नारायण लॉर्ड नारायण कृष्ण लॉर्ड कृष्ण अवतार इनकारनेशन तेह दैट चतुर्भुज फोर आर्म इह इह means this मनुष्य like a man आकार form because Narayana has a four hand whereas Krishna looks just like a man. They say that Narayana is the original God whereas Krishna is but an incarnation. Some scholars argue that because Narayana has a four hand, whereas Krishna has a two, Narayana is the original personality of Godhead. Krishna is his incarnation. Such unintelligent scholars do not understand the feature of absolute. এই মতে নানা রূপে করে পূর্বপক্ষ তাহারি নির্জিতে ভাগবত পদ্য দক্ষ এই মতে নানা রূপ করে পূর্বপক্ষ তাহারে নির্জিতে ভাগবত পদ্য দক্ষ এই মতে দশ নানা মেনি রূপে ফর্ম করে না টেক পূর্বপক্ষ দ্য অবজেকশন তাহারে দেম নির্জিতে ওভারকামিং ভাগবত of শ্রীমদ ভাগবতম পদ্য পোয়েট্রি দক্ষ এক্সপার্ট এই মতে দশ নানা translation. In this way, their argument appear in various forms, but the poetry of the Bhagavatam expertly refute them all. The poetry of the Bhagavatam expertly refute them all. Text 63. Badanti badanti tatvatvidasthatvam यजज्ञानमद्वयम् ब्रह्मेति परमात्मेति भगवानेति शब्दते वदन्ति they say that tattvida learned soul tattvam the absolute truth ya which jnana knowledge अव्ययम non-dual ब्रह्म ब्रह्मन इति thus परमात्मा परमात्मा इति thus भगवान भगवान इति thus शब्दते is known. Translation. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth say that it is non-dual knowledge and is called impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma and personality of Godhead. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth, they say, learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth say that it is non-dual knowledge and is called impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and the personality of Godhead. This text is from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.11. 64. सुनो भाई এই শ্লোক করহ বিচার এক মুখ্য তত্ত্ব তিন তাহার প্রচার এক মুখ্য তত্ত্ব তিন তাহার প্রচার শুনো ভাই এই শ্লোকে করহ বিচার এক মুখ্য তত্ত্ব তিন তাহার প্রচার শুনো প্লিজ লিসন ভাই ব্রদার এই দিস শ্লোকা ভার্স করহ প্লিজ গিভ vichara consideration एक one mukhya principle tattva truth tina three tahara of that prachara manifestation. My dear brother, kindly listen to the explanation of this verse and consider its meaning. The original entity is known in these three different features. My dear brother, kindly listen to the explanation of this verse and consider its meaning. The one original entity is known in its three different features. अद्वय ज्ञान तत्व वस्तु कृष्णेर स्वरूप ब्रह्म आत्मा भगवान तीन तार रूप अद्वय ज्ञान तत्व वस्तु कृष्णेर स्वरूप ब्रह्म आत्मा भगवान तीन तार रूप Advai Jnana, knowledge without duality. Tattva Vastu, the absolute truth. Krishna of Lord Krishna, Swarupa, own nature. Brahma, Brahman, Atma, Paramatma, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality Godhead. Tina, Three, Tara of him, Rupa, form. Lord Krishna himself is the one undivided absolute truth, the ultimate reality. He manifests himself in three features Brahma, Paramatma, Bhagavan. Brahma, Paramatma, Bhagavan. The Lord Krishna himself is a one undivided absolute truth, the ultimate reality. He manifests himself in three features as a Brahma Paramatma Bhagavan. In the words of Srimad Bhagavatam cited above, Bhagavatam 1.2.11, the principal word Bhagavan indicates the personality of Godhead. Brahma and Paramatma are the concomitants deduced from the absolute personality. A government and its minister are deduction from the supreme executive head. In other words, the principal truth is exhibited in three different phases. The absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Bhagavan, is the uh, absolute known as the Brahman Paramatma. Brahman Paramatma, although these features are identical. ব্রহ্ম পরমাত্মা although all these feature are identical এই শ্লোকের অর্থে তুমি হইলা নির্বচন আর এক শুনো ভাগবতের বচন এই শ্লোকে অর্থে তুমি তুমি হইলা নির্বচন আর এক শুনো ভাগবতের বচন এই দিস শ্লোকের of this verse অর্থ by the meaning তুমি you হইলা having become nirvachana speechless or other eka one suno please hear bhagavatir of the Srimad Bhagavatam vachana speech. The import of this verse has stopped you from arguing. Now listen to another verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. The import of this verse has stopped you from arguing. Now listen to another verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. इति चंश कला पुंस कृष्णस्तु भगवान स्वयं इंद्रारी व्याकुलम लोकं मिरयन्ति युगे युगे इति चंश कला पुंस कृष्णस्त भगवान स्वयं इंद्रारी व्याकुलम लोकं म्रियन्ति युगे युगे इति this cha and amsha plenary portion kala the part of plenary portion pumsha of the Purusha Avatara, Krishna, Lord Krishna, too, but Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality Godhead, Swayam himself, Indrari, the enemy of the Indra, Vyakulam, full of Lokam, the world, Mriyanti, make happy, Yuge Yuge, at the right time, at the right time in each age. All these incarnation of Godhead are either plenary portion or part of the plenary portion of the Purusha Avatara. But Krishna is the Supreme Personality Godhead himself. In every age, he protects the world through his different feature when the world is disturbed by the enemy of Indra. This statement of Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.28 definitely negate the concept that Sri Krishna is an avatar of Vishnu. Definitely negate the concept that Sri Krishna is avatar of Vishnu or Narayana. Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, the supreme cause of all cause. This verse clearly indicate that incarnation of personality Godhead such as Sri Rama, Nrsimha, Varaha all undoubtedly because to the Vishnu group, but all of them are either plenary portion or the portion of plenary portion of the original personality Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. সব অবতারের করি সামান্য লক্ষণ তার মধ্যে কৃষ্ণচন্দ্রের করিল গণন সব অবতারের করি সামান্য লক্ষণ তার মধ্যে কৃষ্ণচন্দ্রের করিল গণন সব all অবতারের of the incarnation করি making সামান্য general লক্ষণ symptom তার of them মধ্যে in the middle কৃষ্ণচন্দ্র of Lord Sri Krishna করila did ganana counting. The Bhagavatam describes the synonym and the deed of incarnation in general and counts Sri Krishna among them. The Bhagavatam describes the symptom and the deed of the incarnation in general and count Sri Krishna among them. Hare Krishna. So today we are concluding reading of Bhaktivedanta purport. I hope all you understood. Now let's jump into the insight. Please listen till the end. From tomorrow we'll be reading from text 69. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
All right, let's dive right in. Have you ever really thought about the cosmic chain of command? I mean, who's really in charge? Today we're going to trace everything, and I mean everything, all the way back to the single ultimate source, using the Srimad Bhagavatam as our guide. You know, it's one thing to look up at the night sky and wonder where we fit in. But what if we go deeper? What's the source of the stars themselves, of the universe? That's the real question, isn't it? Well, this ancient text hints at an answer, a reality just beyond our senses. And that's exactly the mystery we're going to try and crack today. Okay, so to get to the top, you first have to understand the management structure, right? So let's start there. Let's meet the divine administrators, the ones on the ground, so to speak, who are responsible for running the whole show. So check this out. The day-to-day of our material reality is handled by these three divine expansions, the Purusha avatars. And the way it's set up is just brilliant. You've got one for the big picture, overseeing all the universes. Then you've got another one that manages all living beings as a whole. And finally, there's one that's super personal, the super soul that's literally inside every single one of us. It's this amazing top-down structure, from the totally cosmic to the deeply individual. Now, here's the crucial part. All three of these incredible beings have a direct relationship with what's called Maya, the material energy. That's their job, right? To manage the material world. So by definition, they're in it. They're connected to it. And that makes you wonder, are they the final bosses? Or is there someone or something totally outside this system? And that's the perfect lead-in to our next big question. If the cosmic managers are tied to the material world, then is there a reality that's completely separate? Something totally untouched by all of this? Is there anything beyond Maya? And bam, here's the fundamental difference, laid out plain and simple. You've got the Purushas on one side, hands-on with material energy. But then, the text points to something else entirely, an ultimate source that has zero contact with Maya. We're talking about a being that exists on a completely different level of reality. This transcendental state has a name, Turiya, and it's described as a fourth dimension. Now, don't think sci-fi movies. Think of it more as a state of being that's just completely pure, totally beyond the influence of the material world. And this, the text tells us, is the home turf of the ultimate source we've been looking for, Lord Krishna. Okay, so we've got our cosmic managers and we've got our transcendental source. So how do they connect? Let's actually map out this divine org chart and trace it all the way back to the top. And here it is, the whole flow. It all begins with Krishna. He's the original source. Then from him, you get the first expansion, Narayan. And then from Narayan, you get the three Purushas we talked about, the ones managing the material world. So you see what's happening? The cosmic managers aren't the source at all. They're basically expansions of an expansion, all coming from that one single point. And the text really doubles down on this. It calls Krishna the ultimate shelter, even for the Purushas. It even calls him the primal Narayana, which is huge. It means he's the source from which even Narayana comes. So there's no ambiguity here. The hierarchy is crystal clear. Okay, this next part is where things get really interesting, philosophically speaking. If there's only one ultimate source, then why do so many people see it differently? How can one truth have so many different interpretations? Let's get into it. So there's this really important verse in the Bhagavatam that just unlocks this whole puzzle. It says that the absolute truth is one single thing. It's non-dual. But it can be seen in three different ways. You can experience it as Brahman, this sort of all-pervading impersonal energy, or as Paramatma, that localized super soul we mentioned, right there in your heart, or as Bhagavan, the Supreme Person himself. And this is the big takeaway, right? These aren't three different truths competing with each other. Nope, they're just three different features of the exact same reality. It's not a contradiction. It's just about your angle, your level of realization. All three roads lead back to the same place. And you know what's great? The text gives us a perfect analogy to wrap our heads around this. Imagine Bhagavan, the personal form, is like the president or the CEO. Then you have Brahman, the impersonal energy, which is like the entire government or the corporation as a whole. And Paramatma, the localized supersoul, is like the different cabinet ministers or department heads actually getting the work done. See? They're all part of the same organization, but the CEO is the ultimate source of authority. All right, we've laid out the hierarchy, we've talked about the different ways of seeing the absolute. Now it's time to get to the main event. We're going to tackle a huge debate that has been going on for centuries within this tradition. So here's the core of the argument. You have some scholars who look at the four-armed form of Narayana, which looks very traditionally divine, and they say he has to be the original. And then they see Krishna with his two-armed, human-like form and think, well, he must be an incarnation of Narayana. And you can see the logic, right? But what does the text actually say about this? And this is the verse that is considered the definitive answer, the mic drop. After listing out a whole bunch of different incarnations, the text ends with this incredibly powerful statement, Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam. What does that mean? It means all those other guys are portions or expansions, but Krishna, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. End of story. He's not an expansion. He's the source. And the reason this one line is so powerful is because it's known as the Paripasha Sutra. Think of it like the master key that unlocks the meaning of the entire book. For followers of this tradition, this single verse just settles it. It decisively puts an end to the debate and locks in Krishna as the ultimate source of absolutely everything. So we've traced the cosmic org chart all the way to the top, but it leaves us with this really cool idea to chew on. If the one ultimate reality can have all these different facets, impersonal, personal, even localized within us, what does that say about our own reality, about our own nature? Just something to think about. Thanks for diving into this with me.